Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Heretic on the Black Plague difficulty for PC, playthrough GZDoom. We are also doing all levels on a 1 start. This is episode 2, mission 4, the Ice Grotto. Let's begin. Now, the first thing you want to do is deal with these gargoyles here. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that this is a ice level and a fire level. Well, here's the ice, and there's the fire. Yeah. How did this happen? I'm pretty sure the sparrow and his lackeys had something to do with it. A wizard did it. The sparrow's a wizard, right? Yeah, he most certainly is, since he casts magic and all sorts of things, I'm sure. Now, there's a morphobum in this slippery area, which you can get to use very shortly, because this ice is very slippery, just like it was in the last level. And these were-dragons take a lot of punishment from your elven wand, so you might not want to use it for too long. But in this crevice here is the ethereal crossbow and some ammo. And when you go into this crevice, another one opens up, but we're not going to go into it just yet. We're going to make sure this place is cleared out. Deal with these were-dragons. And now we can go into it safely to get a tome of power and some ammo if we need it, which we probably will later if we manage to come back here. Now, there are several other areas which have more were-dragons behind these walls here. This canyon-like area has quite a few were-dragons hiding in its like crevices. So you'll probably have to go through each one, deal with the slippery sliding elf stuff. You ever watch Tom and Jerry? You ever watch that episode where they ice up the floor and whenever Tom tries to step on it, he just slides around awkwardly to the sound of percussion instruments playing along? That's how I feel right now. Anyways, this were-dragon near this building here on the left side was guarding Gauntlets of the Necromancer. And on the right side is another were-dragon. Two, in fact, if some like to wander around here, I guess. And he was guarding nothing too important, unfortunately. Now, I believe there is another passageway. Yes. This one has the bag of holding, which will be quite useful later on. And this one has another were-dragon guarding the yellow key. So grab the yellow key, and now we can go over to open the yellow door. Inside the yellow door are several gargoyles. 2 regular ones, I believe. No, 3. And 1 fire gargoyle. Make that 4 regular gargoyles. Anyways, they were guarding the Phoenix Rod. So when you pick it up, 2 doors will open up. So don't use the Phoenix Rod right away. There are bigger fish to fry. But speaking of it, these 2 gargoyles were guarding flame orbs. So you can pick them up whenever you go into the places where they were hiding from. Now that the gargoyles are dealt with, we can now go into this portal. I believe it opens whenever you get the Phoenix Rod, but I'm not completely sure. Now, when you go in it, expect a Disciple of the Sparrow to be right behind you. And in fact, you can just run off the platform immediately when you teleport through it. Like so. Because when you run off the platform, another portal will open up on this side. And like the last portal, another disciple is waiting for you. Right here, in fact. And I'm glad we got him in one shot. Now we can probably go back to the platform on the right. Or the portal on the right. Or the left, even. I'm losing sense of direction here. It doesn't help that the portal on your right, whenever you enter the room, sends you to the left side. Anyways, you can run down here to get this Inferno Orb, which is a big set of ammo for the Phoenix Rod. And it'll prove very useful. Now, we can go back in here. And we telefragged that Disciple, which is fine by me. Now, I believe the Phoenix Rod is a more physical weapon. I'm not completely sure, but I've seen it go through Disciples of the Sparrow sometimes, so keep that in mind when you want to use it against ghostly enemies or flickering enemies like the Disciple. Now, we can go back here since we had the green key, but be alert that when you open this, 2 Were-Dragon will greet you, so you can use your newly acquired Phoenix Rod to deal with them rather quickly, which is fine by me. Now, since we have this Morphobum, we can use it very shortly, and look at that, there's a rare chance that the Disciples of the Sparrow drop Tomes of Power, and this one managed to do that. So if you're lucky like me and get a Tome of Power, you can probably use it. But I won't use it, not yet. Not unless the situation calls for it. But we can now go down here and herd up these enemies and Morphobum them. We only got 2, but that's better than none. Now then, we can go and check out this area here, which is a cavern area with several buildings, which are fine and dandy. And I always love these buildings here. There's a torch here. You can get it in a very peculiar way, which we will do later on, probably. But now, for the time being, we're going to focus on clearing this area up. Because there are Saberclaws, Gargoyles, and a Disciple is here guarding another Tome of Power. You think they give you enough tomes on this map? I don't think they gave us enough tomes. Because the one I found was a random tome. I got lucky. Now that most of this area, this outside area, this sort of outside area is clear, we can try going into here, which has a Were-Dragon waiting for you, 2 in fact, and Gargoyle tries to sneak up on you. Some infighting going on. It's always fun. But when you go here, there will be several doors here with several Gargoyles and other enemies waiting for you, like this Saberclaw. But inside these rooms, not too much, but there is a Shadow Spear in this room and some ammo, which is always a good thing in Heretic, because, well, in Black Plague it's not too much of a problem, but in the lower difficulties you might run low on ammo sometimes, especially if you're doing a one-start playthrough. The thing about Black Plague, to compensate for the enemies being faster and deadlier, they give you double ammo drops for the most part. So there are some enemies up here, some Were-Dragons and some Gargoyles. They got into an infight earlier, which is also fine and dandy by me. Double check to make sure this area is clear, because sometimes Gargoyles can fly into it. But I believe that's most of what we can do for now, except for dealing with this Were-Dragon. But now if we dealt with everything in this area, we can go to this one, which has a lava pool and Gargoyle waiting for us, some lesser runes and some other ammo. Among other things, a stairway. Now that we have gotten the up the stairway, we can get a map scroll here and go into these rooms for more ammo, more enemies, and a switch here, which opens up something. I forget what it does, but I know it's essential. I believe there was... Ah, yeah, I remember. There were some other doors in this area, in the, like, other buildings that were switch openable only. And I believe we just opened at least one of them. But, since we've gone through this area, we get an enchanted shield. So, there's benefit in exploring these, buildings here. And one of the other benefits are these time bombs, which is perfect. So, now if we've pressed that switch, I believe some areas will have opened up. So, we can double check this area just in case some gargoyles flew around it, because they can do that. Alright. I believe this was the door that opened up, which has the blue key here. And when you get the blue key, some areas will open up, I believe, including this one with a Disciple of the Sparrow and the Dragon's Claw. This is fine by me. This is another door that opened up from the switch. Now we can go into the blue door later. But instead we're going to go into this door, which was also opened up by the switch, I believe. That switch was very important, and so is this area, because it has the Wings of Wrath. So you can use the Wings of Wrath to pick up this torch here. And probably some more things. But probably not. We could probably use the torch right now for that full bright goodness. And finally, open the blue door. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but all the keys have this distinct pattern. First yellow, then green, then blue. And if your map doesn't have the yellow, green, blue pattern, you're doing it wrong. Anyways, an Iron Lich waits for you in this room. We can finally use one of these Tomes of Power on him. Or maybe not, we could probably just use the Phoenix Rod without the power, because it's strong on its own. Yeah, see? And the Lich was guarding a Hail Staff. So, there's nothing else aside from these gargoyles and some ammo and some vials if you need them. And there's this exit. But I don't think we are going to use this exit just yet. No. We are going to grab all the goodies here. And I believe there was another portal here somewhere. Let me double check the map. Yes. Alternatively, we could have used the Chaos Device, but since we have gone throughout this level and did all the things that we did, this part of the map opened up, and we can finally use the Tome of Power. And I will demonstrate the Phoenix Rod's alternative fire. It is a flamethrower. One of the earliest examples, in fact. But now that we have dealt with all the enemies here, we'll celebrate by using these time bombs, which we were unable to do. Huzzah! In the Shadow Sphere. And we only use one Tome of Power. Huh. Well, now we've done all that, this secret has opened up, which reveals the secret level of episode 2. Now let's step through the portal, and we will go to the glacier. But this was the Ice Grotto. Fun level, nice music. Kind of challenging, especially the first part with all the slippery ice problems and the were-dragons all around the area. But it can give you some trouble if you're not prepared. It gave me some trouble too, because I had to do this in multiple attempts. Anyways, now that we are done with the Ice Grotto, we can go to E2M4, the glacier, which we will do in the next video. So until then, toodaloo.